Hey gang, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday, May 18th. I hope everybody's wedding seasons are going well. Welcome to DJEP Live this month, May 18th. Let's see here. You got me and Alex on the call with you guys.
Hey guys.
Something that you've been waiting for, I think, for a while now. Book It Now feature is what we're going to be talking about today. The Book It Now feature, of course, is available in the instant quote system. If you guys don't know Alex, of course, Alex is one of our developers. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover the new features of Book It Now, how it works, what it could do for you, and of course, take questions and answers about the Book It Now feature, the instant quote, and of course, anything else DJEP related. So I see we got quite a few people in here. I want to thank you guys all for joining us today. Without further ado, let's get things started, shall we?
Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, we have actually got quite a few today. I've actually, for the first time ever, seen a second page button on Zoom. I've not seen that yet. So first of all, guys, apologies for the mess behind me. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't be bothered to set up my green screen because I've been running my family to doing COVID vaccines all morning. So it's been a bit of a manic one. Right, so first protocol is, let's see how many of you are already using instant quote. So just in the comments, hit yes or raise a hand. How many of you are already using the instant quote system? Not yet, but one who, no. Yep. Yeah. We've got a couple of yeps in the past, not yet. Okay, so we're going to work on the basis of most of you aren't using it just yet. Cool. Okay. We'll start partially off with a bit of information on what the instant quote system does, but then it's more going to go into the whole Book It Now system, which is what I like to say, the streamlined automated version of taking it from the quote form to a fully booked and paid for event with pretty much no interaction from you guys. Of course, you can change any of the settings and make this a bit more what's the word I'm looking for? So you can step in and make changes if need be. So it doesn't have to be fully automated, but this can now be all the way through, completely seamless, no interaction from you guys needed. Okay, let's share my screen first of all. So Fletcher, am I sharing correctly?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay. So first thing you're going to do, guys, is you're going to go to website tools and you're going to go to instant quote and you're going to go to settings. Now, if you haven't set this up before, it will automatically put you onto the packages page. And this is where you set what packages appear in your instant quote. So you click on edit. And then you can choose based on event type. So for now, I'm just going to select all event types for some packages so we can get this up and running. Have a play with this, guys. I believe we have got a tutorial somewhere on setting up instant quote. And we've got one here which is selected. I'm just going to do all. And again, it's the same with the add-ons. Add-ons are slightly different. You can customize these based on the selected event type and the package they've selected. So for simplicity, I'm just going to select these as all again. Yep, we've got some in there. And if we go to our preview for the instant quote, let's take this out of frame. Here is our instant quote system. So this is completely stylable. There is a style system within the software that you can go and do. So you can go back to website tools, instant quote, and then appearance. And we have a full designer here where you can change colors and do whatever you want to do. Same with the tab colors. And those will automatically update straight there for you. Instant quote system works by them selecting certain required details. And you can also create custom questions as well. These don't work towards any logic, but these are more for if you've got questions like how many guests do you want and any attire, things like that. So it kind of extends out the questions a bit like the request for info form does. Click on next. They then, if we can't find their venue, if you've got travel fees set up, which I have on the demo account, they'll be advised that they can't locate the venue. Select a package, click next, select your add-ons. The client then enters their details and they get shown a quote. Within DJ Event Planner, you get a copy of that quote in your DJEP inbox, which is at the top here. And you can view all the details. If you've got it turned on and they request more information, this will turn to red and will say they want more information. And that is the basic instant quote system. So now you've got the basics on that. We're going to fast forward this all the way through to the Book It Now system. So what that's just done is it's created you a quote, which you now go and add to the system. So you would add event to system. You fill in all the details. You generate all the financials, you generate the quotes, you send that all off in an email. It's tedious if you've got quite a few coming in. With the new settings, so we're going to go back to Website Tools, Instant Quote, Settings. What you're going to do, you're going to go over to Quote Submission tab. And there's a few different things now. So remember earlier on I said request information. That's now a tickable option. You can turn that on or off. You've also got to make a payment button. And you've also got skip quote preview. These aren't new. These have just been moved to this section. The new bit is Book It Now. In order to have Book It Now, you must enable the pricing. The client has to be able to see the pricing before they can book it. So you've got to make sure skip quote preview is off, your pricing details are shown, and you click on Book It Now. This will also enable our new feature, which is called Auto Add as Event, which has been out for a couple of months now. And what this does is it auto adds the event to the system once they submit the quote. What you need to do is set some settings, such as which status they're going to do. If you want to assign any employees or assign a specific venue, I personally don't see why anyone would do that because they're probably selecting a venue on the instant quote page. Now, what you're going to need to do next, so click on Save Settings. You're now going to go to Packages. Now, this is where the whole auto system works. The way Book It Now works is they come along, they get a quote, they then get forwarded to the e-signature contract that you want them to sign. The e-signature contract is based upon the package that they select. Whichever document you select for them to sign, once they've signed that, any booking helpers or redirects that you want to happen on that document will happen. So that means if you have it set to go to the payment portal, after they've signed, they'll go to the payment portal. Then anything you have set booking helper wise to run on the payment portal will run as well. So it's kind of that missing step between all of these things. So for this example, I'm going to pick the basic bar package. And you'll now see a new setting here called Instant Quote Book It Now e-sign document. I'm going to select the test contract. And I'm going to click on Save. So That means if I, as a client, now go into the instant quote and select basic bar package, let's just reload our instant quote. Basic bar package, what's going to happen is at the end of here, I'm going to be redirected to the e-signature page for that document. A new event is going to be added to the system. And once I've signed that document, that will get assigned to the event as well. So I'm just going to randomly add some bits. View quote. So there's a book it now button. The client can see all the pricing, everything, all in details. Click on book it now. And boom, there is the contract based on your template that you've made, ready for them to sign. I'm not entirely sure, because this is the demo account. I'm not entirely sure what's on this. Once they've signed, if we go to set up documents, what was the name of that document I selected? Tester contract, wasn't it?
I think so.
I'm going to go with test contract.
Yeah, test contract.
So on the e-signature settings for that document, I currently have that to send out a default email, and after signing, redirect to the payment page. So in theory, when I sign this in a minute, this should redirect me to the payment page. Yep, I'm being redirected. While that's doing that, I'm going to show you not all of my desktop and gaming over there. Sorry, guys. Let's just hide all my games because they're a bit embarrassing, not going to lie. If we go to the inbox, here is the quotes that were generated. Here is the e-signed document. This has been added. So that quote that I just booked and signed the document for, there's the document I just signed. It's added as an event. Me as a DJ, I had to do nothing at all. Now, if I come and make a payment, anything I have set up to run after the payment is made will now affect the event. That is the Book It Now system. So to summarize, set the packages, set a document for the packages that you want signed, so your contract, set any booking helpers for those contracts and any redirects that you want done by going to setup and documents. And then on website tools, payment gateway settings, you can also set any additional booking helpers and after payment settings here. And that can streamline pretty much every single thing that you do. We've set it so that it's the standard of e-sign, then payment, not the other way around, purely for event ID tracking. Without the event ID and a signed document in there to apply the payment to, it's got to go that way around. So that's pretty much it. Fletcher, did I miss anything there?
I don't think so. It's pretty straightforward. The cool thing about it, again, is each package can have their own contract set for it. You know, a couple questions I think that users might have, and these will come up and we'll get through those questions here shortly. But say if you have the Book It Now feature turned on, but no contract assigned to the package or to a package that the client books, what would happen?
It would go as a simple request for information.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, if you guys happen to forget to put a package onto a contract attached to a package, then it would go to a simple request for information form. They wouldn't be able to book it now, per se.
You're going to make me double check this now. I wrote this code only a couple of weeks ago and I can't remember. Let me go triple check. I know we've got nothing set for demo. Oh yeah, I forgot I put spam
filter
stuff in there now. Yes, it basically does it as a standard request for information. So it wouldn't take them to a document. It would just send them the information via email like a standard instant quote would. Perfect. And you'll get notified within your inbox of a new quote.
Awesome. And now with that, guys, as well, this is where that breakdown comes down, because there's going to be packages that you offer that you are able to provide a book it now feature for, and other packages that you can't. So for example, if you run your company and you're on the DJ side of things and your DJ, for example, or staff is named on the contract and the client books that DJ, that is something that you wouldn't want to have the book it now feature enabled at that moment. You want it to go to the request for information. But if you have something arbitrary, if you provide just photo booth services or simply lighting services, whatever it may be, where there's not a named staff member on that, you can have those packages that they select have the ability to book it now online based upon setting a contract for each package that you want them to be able to book it now for. So, and that's where we go back to Tony here. Tony asked the question, how does the system know availability of employees? So that is a really good question. I don't think we've implemented the ability to select an employee yet through the
No, it doesn't do employee basis. However, let's go to settings. What I would highly recommend you enable is in instant quote settings tab, enable the run date availability check. So if enabled, this will run a date availability check once the client selects a date and enters some of their details. Where you set that is up in check availability and availability. So it will utilize the maximum number of booked events per day to calculate whether or not it can continue on using this quote. So if you are enabling the book it now system, enable that for definite. That way you can't overbook and double book yourself. And as Fletcher said, literally you can do it on a per package basis. So you could enable some for photo booths and extras, and yeah, some for certain DJ packages that you know, not a problem, I can always supply that.
Right. Absolutely. And then a couple questions. Well, Dennis, we'll get to you in a second here. Michael,
I can't see chat, by the way, guys. Sorry.
You got to open up your chat. But anyway, yes, Michael, you can add a 3% or any fee that you'd like for credit card processing versus sending a check or a cash. And that's going to be done underneath website tools, payment gateway, and then underneath that gateway provider. And a thing to note about that is how the system works with those processing fees is it applies that processing fee prior to your processor assessing processing fees. So what that means in layman's terms, let's take PayPal, for example. They charge 2.7% plus a 30-cent per transaction fee. So you don't want to, if you want your true amount, let's say $1,000, you don't want to just pass on or you don't want to charge your client 2.7 plus 30 cents. You want to charge them a little bit more, almost that 3%, in order to calculate and get back that full 1,000. You'd have to do a little bit of math on your end to make sure what works best for your credit card processor.
To be fair, the processing fees, again, I still can't see chat for some reason. It's not loading on my Zoom. To be fair, the processor fees are not, this wasn't ever designed to cover your fees exactly. It was designed so you could add on a fee, because 99% of card providers around the world frown upon charging for using their services. I know here in the UK it's completely illegal, and they're really cracking down on it over here as well.
Yeah, absolutely, and definitely make sure that it's legal in your area. Dennis, you said you had a question. What kind of question do you have? if you want to type it in or
Mine-
unmute your microphone.
Mine was actually kind of answered. I think that's really exciting, but I'm a control freak too, so I was worried about the availability portion. I don't even use that auto checker yet for my website because I would rather have that personal look. It's because of the gray areas where someone is seriously about to book or they've got a contract in hand. So I'm not really sure about if I don't want to overcommit, and I also don't want to lose someone if I turn them away prematurely. So I think that's where my question was about, and you kind of went over that with the availability checker. So I don't know if you want to explain anything deeper about how that works with.
I've got one other thing that might help with that as well. So one really bloody cool feature that we added in was the ability to reload the quote later.
Yes.
So you're saying about how you might potentially lose a customer or what have you. There is a really cool little thing, and I don't know if you noticed it. At the top, quote link. We've generated a new thing called quote link, which you can provide to your client. It's a completely unique code at the end here. So it's extremely hard to get anyone's information. You can actually provide them with that link. And we've even given a merge tag now into the system that you can put in your autoresponders. So you can actually provide them with the link that they can come back to as well. Alternatively, as you said, you're worried about losing a potential client. If you didn't put this in your autoresponder and you wanted to manually send it, no, that wouldn't work. It only works on the autoresponder right now. I need to work on that. Well, yeah, I need to work on that.
I really do love the idea of them being able to, just tap, 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 and there it is, it's booked, because that's what people are used to. Consumers are used to that with Amazon or whatever. And so I want to be that. It's just I'm nervous. So I wanted to know how that worked a little bit more. So
one other really bloody cool thing you could do. So website tool. This is a little bit more advanced here, guys. But you can actually have more than one instant quote system. Yeah, that's just literally made everyone go silent, and Fletcher is like, I did not know this. You probably did know this. So with the request info form, we've got a thing called get code. And what we tell you to do, excuse me, I do not have COVID. Excuse me. What we tell you to do is generate your questions, grab the code, change your questions, grab new code, and that's how you can create multiple requests for info forms. Well, with Instant Quote, you can now embed this on your website completely with all the code. Right at the bottom is all of the code. I mean, it's a lot of code. I'm not going to lie, it's a lot of code. What you could do is go and change the settings and have it based on maybe event type to start with. So the way the hierarchy system works in how things are selected, everything starts with the event type. It then filters down to packages. And then packages filters down to add-ons. So add-ons are based on packages and event types. Packages are based on just event types. Event types is just event type. That's the first starters. So what you could do, if you wanted to test this out, with some that are instant book, some that aren't instant book, I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this. You set some packages to some event types that are book now. So you set the e-sign document for the packages. They then become the book it nows. The others you don't. You assign those book it now packages to a certain event type. Those not book it now ones to another event type. Then what you do, you go get your code. in this code, do a quick browser search, and there we go. You'll find there's a list of all your event types. Just delete them out. Literally from your code. That's one type of instant quote request. Add them back into another one. That's another instant quote request. So you can do multiples, but I'm working it that way. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a bit advanced. You do need to know a bit of HTML, and I'll see if I can add something in the future to work out how to remove the event types. But that could be one option for you guys if you want to test the system. The other option is to, I'm trying to think of a best way to test it. Fletcher? You're muted, mate. I suppose they could go and use...
Yeah, just creating events and testing it to make sure that it functions the way that you want it to for that specific event type.
Yeah. The other option as well is potentially go and look at the demo account.
Yes.
Username and password is just DJEP demo. So if you want to go and have a little look and play with that, obviously if you're all on there at the same time changing settings, it might get confusing, but that might be an option to go and have a little play with.
Yeah.
Again, if you've not set up instant quote, I would say your best option when integrating onto your website, create a hidden page and get the code. So instant quote, get code, and get the embed code. Put that on a hidden page on your website that has no menu link. Then you can just toy around, make your selections, muck about with it, and see how it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one option. Going back to the whole sending your client back to the link so they can come back again.
Yep.
If you go to packages, edit, and go down to your autoresponder email, down in merge tags, like I said, you now have the link to quote. So that's another thing just to remind you guys that you can actually send them back to the quote if you want to. So if they don't book it now, they've still got a link to come back and book it.
Yep.
So again, it saves them having to type everything out just because the human race is lazy. And to give you an example, I'm gonna try this. Hopefully this is gonna work. I'm putting this into the chat window and you should all be able to access that. So if you click on the link, it's loaded all of the information I've previously entered.
Yep.
Because I've given you that special unique ID code. And it also has pre-selected the previous package I selected, the add-ons I've selected, and my contact info. So I don't have to type it all in again. The client can then come along and, okay, yeah, I want to book it now. Let's do this. And then they can book it. So hopefully that covers that. I have a tendency to go off on tangents. Sorry, guys.
No, thanks,
Right.
Alex. That's great. And I noticed now when I click that link, you can still change more things. When
Yes.
you first said it, I assumed it was, here's a summary of what you typed in, but you can still revise and edit stuff too.
Yeah. And
Click. Awesome.
it will create a new quote if they make revisions. So that quote will stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
That quote will be there now, done. And if they make a change, boom, new quote, new link, new everything. It's all new everything. So they could have multiple quotes emailed out to them and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to just click through and make some changes. Oh, I like that quote. Let's go back to there, make that change.
Absolutely.
On that note, then, if they were to book it now and then change their mind, would they be starting a second event if they did another quote?
Yes.
Okay, so there might be like a conversation to have with them if they want any changes after that final process.
Yeah, so basically once they click book it now and they've signed that document, boom, that is an event.
Yeah.
So what you can do, I don't know how many of you have toyed with this yet. Go to set up documents, pick your document. I'm just going to pick a random one. I don't know which one I'm picking. Click on e-signature. No, it's not.
What are you looking for?
Oh, there. It was on there. E-signature. Scroll down and you've got custom wording. Click on the show settings and you can actually put text above and below the document. So, and you can use HTML. I'm going to do H1. Hey you, this will book this. And if you want to make it a bit bigger in font, like you can do whatever you want. 18px. If you sign this, your event will be booked. I'll be professional and not type something completely ridiculous in there. Let's just save that. So that was contract multi-day. For the sake of simplicity, I'm literally just going to go and show you this as a standard e-sign. E-signature, multi-day. There you go. I've got a ton of extra stuff up there. And you can basically add your custom stuff. So you can put wording up there to say, hold up, this will book you. Like after this, you can't make changes, or you can, but you're going to need to contact us.
Right.
And again, completely custom HTML. So if you want to add any extra like stuff, you can, and you can design it however you want as well.
Cool. I think we got a couple questions to kind of go through as well here. I know Michael asked a question, is there a way to hide the prices so we can confirm the booking? You can hide prices on the instant quote. Of course, they won't be able to book it now without prices.
Yeah. To do that, go to website tools, instant quote settings, go to quote submissions, and on the quotes result page, turn off pricing summary and pricing details. But that does mean that book it now will not be available.
And you'll also, if you want to hide the prices on packages and add-ons, that's going to be underneath the settings tab, where you can hide those as well.
Yeah. So these can be hidden on the book it now. That's not a problem.
Okay.
But the quote result page has to show the financial summary completely of what they're booking, basically.
For sure.
But when you load the list of packages and stuff, yeah, you can hide that if you want. Same with the add-ons. And that's done on settings page.
And then Terrence had a question as well, too, which we can cover. Terrence, each package does not require a unique contract. You can select a specific contract for each package. That's so if you have different wording, let's just say for a DJ contract versus a photo booth only contract, you can select that specific contract for that package, but you could have the same contract for all packages. It does not require a unique contract for each package at all.
Yeah, that's correct. So every package that wants to be enabled for Book It Now has to have a document selected, but they can be the same document across all the packages.
Absolutely.
I'm just going through the questions now.
So another one is a variable cost for travel. You can have a variable cost for travel by manipulating the mileage settings. However, adding a hotel stay, for example, or a charge for a hotel, that's not automatic. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Alex.
It's not automatic. No, not right now.
Not at the moment.
It's not something we've ever looked at adding because that would be a bit tricky because obviously we don't know whether or not you would be booking a hotel.
Right.
So on and so forth.
So I
but
think
You can do the calculation based on miles, fixed rates, and from specific addresses. And we've just introduced the maximum travel distance as well.
Yep.
So this is straight as the crow flies. So if you put a pin in the map and I put 100 miles on there, it's 100 miles that way, 100 miles that way in a circle all the way around.
Yeah.
And then we have obviously the over distance settings here that shows a pop-up. Show pop-up and stop quoting. There's 4 options basically that allow you to either let them finish the quote, and you might go, it's 82 miles and my maximum is set to 80. I'll do that one. All right, fine. Or it might be a case of, nah, I'm not doing it because I know where that venue is. It's your choice then.
So then essentially in that case, you could also include not only a mileage charge, but also a hotel charge. Let's just say, for example, anything over 100 miles, you require a hotel stay for if you're doing that event. So if you use underneath, choose a calculation method, fixed rates for distances. If you do, 100 miles, for example, for one, you could include not only the travel fee, but also cost of a hotel, averaging depending on how much they are in that area. That would be a way to have that kind of automatically added in there as well.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, because you can also do, fixed rate for distances. I forgot to mention that. And then do your start and ends.
Mm-hmm.
Styling options. So we have got the appearance basic setting. I would say if you want to customize this even more, because it's basic HTML, you can. It's not, we've given you a basic starter style. So you then go get code, use the HTML and adjust it accordingly. I believe there's a couple of people in our Facebook group that do that. So might be worth putting a post on there and seeing if anyone can customize it and make it a bit more to your styling on that one.
Absolutely.
I'm just going through the questions.
So James, to answer your question, you said that you'd love to have them do a quote, then look at it and send them a link to book it. That's really just using the instant quote system as it was previously designed. Come in as an instant quote, you can look at it, and then at that point in time, add the event to the system, and then obviously send the contract and have that contract forward them to the payment gateway to complete that. And same thing for your Ugram as well. Once they sign the contract and it redirects them to the payment, how do you set up the auto email responder to let them know they are now booked? That's going to come from your payment gateway settings.
So website tools, payment gateways, settings, depending on which one you use. I'm just going to go with Stripe. After payment settings, and send the following email.
Well, you want not that one. That's one for every payment.
That's every. Thank you.
First payment only. So you can set up a booking helper that will trigger that email template that will go out to them. So after that first payment, you have a booking helper that's set up to send that, hey, you're now booked, and whatever further instructions that you need to give them or information, and have that booking helper run after that initial payment.
And for those that haven't used booking helpers before, we have done videos on this previously. We'll put the links to this in the description if it's saved and shared elsewhere. It is on our YouTube page. But to get to booking helpers, go to setup, application, booking helpers. And then you just add a new booking helper. And for those that want to do this as a payment one, for example, and send specific emails.
Oh, wait, hold on a second, Alex. What's that right next to your cursor? What's that tab to the right? No, to the right of your cursor. What is that tab? Oh, have you guys not seen that yet? Anybody not seen that? Anybody?
By the way, you can now send SMSs via the booking helpers, guys.
Yeah. So
I forgot to mention that.
If you guys didn't see that, an email was sent with an update of all the changes, as well as it was covered, I think, in the changelog video.
Yeah, we haven't publicly mentioned this yet because in case it breaks. It won't break. It's me that's coded it. It will break. So yeah, you can send an email. So it's your choice. You can send like a confirmation email and then update the event status to booked or whatever you.
Mm-hmm.
You could also send an SMS to them if you want to. Entirely up to you. Remember, keep SMSs short. There is a big note up here that SMSs are sent out as soon as the booking helper is triggered. So if you trigger this at 4 a.m., they're going to get a text message at 4 a.m.
Yep.
So try not to run them too early and like do that. I know some of us like to work late. So that's how you would set up a booking helper. Pop over to the YouTube channel. There's a whole segment on how to set up booking helpers and what you can do with them.
So just a good note on that. If you're using a booking helper to schedule an SMS or to trigger an SMS, as of this moment, until there might be a future update, I'm not going to say anything further, but as of this moment, you don't want to trigger that booking helper off a scheduled email template.
Yes.
Because that will send out at, 4:30, 5:30 in the morning.
At the moment.
Yeah. There was a question. Is there a way to resend with a discount, Alex? So if they get the quote, is there a way to resend the quote link with a discount? So I guess, Michael, are you saying to recapture past business or past leads to give them another offer, possibly?
There isn't a way right now, but that's actually a really good idea.
Because we do have promo codes that you could use. That you could,
we've got promo codes.
You could create a promo code for that and then resend them that link per se with that promo code. Enter this promo code to save an additional 10% now or whatever, $100 off or whatever.
Yeah, that could work. Use the quote link merge tag and say at the end, add the following promo code to get 10% off, 20% off, whatever. With regards to having it already added to the system and then going back and having it like auto calculate, that isn't possible. So yeah, I would say best way, put the quote link in a package autoresponder and send it with the promo code that you want them to use. Downside to that is it does go out to everyone.
Yeah, it will go out to everyone. So the other workaround for that would be to take that quote, copy that quote link that comes in to the system.
Because again, you can view that here.
Right.
It's always at the top of the instant quote page. So you could always manually provide it to them with a promo code.
Yes.
I can't think of another way to do that.
That'd be the only way I could think of right now at the moment. See, I think we have a couple other questions. Chris asks, can we have the quote link go to the view quote page instead of step 1? I don't think that's possible, is it?
What's that?
Sending the quote link to the quote page or view quote page instead of going back to the first step.
No, not yet. I could make that technically possible by a query string, so I could look at adding that. I'll see what I can do. No promises, but I'll see what I can do. That should be quite simple, and it may be a case of we just give you a merge tag that's like quote link review or something. It's a slightly different merge tag because it'll be a slightly different web link.
Yeah,
I can see that working. Let me see what I can do on that one.
And something as well that I want to make sure that we mention too is that, again, currently the Book It Now system is still in open beta. Again, if you don't recall from previous videos, open beta means that it's open to everybody, but there is a chance for you might find a bug or two. If you do, make sure you post that on the support forum underneath bugs. So that way Alex can look into it and fixing it as quick as possible. So if you call support, for example, if you're Premium Plus or you hit up live chat with a bug in the instant quote system, they're probably not going to be able to help you.
And they'll probably ping me first and be like, oh.
Your best bet is to go straight to the support forum and post it underneath bugs. I know we got a couple other questions we want to try to get through here as well.
I've got one here. Hang on.
Sure.
Oh, no, that was Graham. Sorry. I'm still behind on chat. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling through still.
So yeah, David, I think we already kind of answered your question as well in regards to having them do a quote and then look at it and then you send them a link. That's just the same as using the instant quote system prior to the Book It Now. They fill it out, they get a quote, then you added the event to the system. And you can have it auto add the event to the system, of course. And then it's just a matter of sending the contract template that you have for it for e-signature. So Rob asked a question about having a different Book It Now quotes for weddings at unique venues. For example, one venue needs a lot of gear, venue 2 is much smaller, doesn't. Right now, you can't really set it up based upon venue.
No, it's not done by venue. Right now, no, there isn't a way to do it based on venue. Not easily. Sorry, guys.
We already talked about that. A lot of great questions, guys. Keep them coming if you have them. Oh, yeah. And then Matthew asked, can you check availability for an individual employee? You can, using the website tool, check staff availability, but they'd have to start with that and then be redirected to the instant quote from there.
Yes.
Again, that's not going to stay with that employee. So for example, if they use check availability for John Doe and they're redirected to the instant quote, John Doe is not going to be recognized as assigned, Alex, or is the system going to do that? And I don't know about it yet.
No, I don't think it does assign because there's no way to assign an employee right now on the instant quote.
Well, you can select the default employee to be assigned to the event, but other than that,
that's on the auto add. So on auto add, you can auto assign.
Yeah.
Yeah, using the staff check availability, I don't think it carries on over.
That's something I'll have to get back to for you, Matt.
Yeah, we'll put that in the comments in the chat, in the posting of the review of the video. I'll find out and put that in there. Any way to customize multiple portal themes? Tim, do you mean the client portal or the instant quote tool?
Keith, while he's thinking about his answer there, you can always check your server by going to account, and in the right side, you'll see server details, and it'll tell you what server number that you're on.
The big green box over here. Gives you all your server information, such as IP addresses, name servers, anything like that that you're going to need for any domain stuff.
And then Daniel, the Facebook user page is separate from the main Facebook page. So if you're on Facebook, search for DJ Event Planner users. That is separate from DJ Event Planner on Facebook. And again, the user-to-user group, guys, is a great tool for user-to-user assistance. We are up there to moderate it just in case, but if you come across something like a bug or something unique to your case, there's a really good chance another user is not going to be able to assist, and you're better off posting that on the support forum or reaching out to support as well. And then as well, too, if you guys don't notice, there's a search function on the user group. Feel free to do that, as well as just scroll through it. Take 5 minutes a day to just scroll through the server to see what other users are doing, just in case you have that same question. And it's already been answered.
So yeah, there's tons of stuff on there. Like, it's mostly user to user. Sometimes some of us will jump on and assist on that one. Tony Nichols, is the Book It Now option in Web Tools? It's in Instant Quote. So it is an Instant Quote feature. So they have to generate a quote, which then gets added as an event, which then automatically gets sent to the e-sign contract, which automatically gets sent to the payment, which then does whatever you need it to do in the booking helpers. So yeah, it is purely instant quote only. Because request for information doesn't give any financial details or calculations, doesn't work on that.
Cool.
Oh,
no problems, Tim.
Tim, I answered my own question after I sent it. No worries, mate. With regards to Client Portal, yes, there is plenty of options for Client Portal where you can have custom ones based on event type. And again, you can link to your own custom CSS. And again, there's a couple of lovely guys on our user group that can help you out with that one. Yep. I'm not mentioning any names or like putting any favoritism out there in any way, shape, or form. I'm neutral. Instant quote, again, best thing if you want to do multiple instant quote systems and different styles, run your style like this. Nope, that's not going to work, guys, because we link to your style sheet for you. We don't put it in there.
Correct.
So nope, you can only have one style for your instant quote right now. I'll look into that and see what I can add in a future update, maybe.
I mean, essentially, there's you could override it with inline possibly, but that's going to take a lot more HTML and custom coding. So
yeah.
How many custom themes can you add? So it depends on the subscription level you're on. So on the standalone, you can have, is it 2 or 3? So yeah, on the standalone, it's 2. So 1 default and 1 custom. On the premium, it's 5, 1 default and 4 custom. And then on the premium plus, it's 25, 1 default and 24 custom. So
yeah, so there you go. It's on my screen right now, guys. Yeah, 1 default. Then for $20 a month, it's default plus 1. And 35 default plus 4. Yeah, default plus 25. Yeah, 24 even.
Absolutely.
Or alternatively, just go to website tools, click on the plus, it gives you the info. Any other questions, guys?
I know we covered a lot. So any questions you guys have is a great time to post them. If not, we'll get things wrapped up and you get you guys back on your day.
I know that was a lot of information there that I've just thrown at you on how it all works.
Right.
As I said earlier, test it out. Just play with it. Like, turn off your instant quote right now to every public person. Go toy with it. Play with the settings. Grab the code. Chuck it on your website. And just play. Just chuck in a ton of information, like different quotes, and see how it goes.
Terrence, the quote will show the updated price at the end.
Yeah.
Going through. So, and
it shows at the end.
If they want to play with it, they can go back and edit it from there.
Yeah, it shows at the end, just because it adds up all the mileage, it does all the calculations as one big transactional value at the end, rather than trying to do it bit by bit by bit. Absolutely. Which can sometimes go wrong.
Cool.
Okay, well, I think that's mostly everyone. I'm gonna give it another couple of minutes just to be on the safe side.
Sure. To talk about that. Thanks for filling up the poll, guys. Again, we do our live events once a month, and we're open to a lot of different things. Of course, too, if you're going to be attending any of the expos coming up, we'll be there. The next one we'll be at is a marquee show in Chicago. So if you guys are going to be there, make sure you come by and say hi. That's the end of next month, I believe, the last week in June, 21st through 25th. And then, of course, if you, again, YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to it. We're always working on putting up new content for you guys. And make sure you subscribe to that so you get notified when those videos come out. Sorry. Lost my train of thought.
Unfortunately, David, unless you've got to show them the prices before they can book it, it's not fair to have them sign and confirm without knowing the prices. So that you would have to have them do it that way, unless if you keep the prices hidden from your instant quote, then carry on sending them a manual link and do it that way. Cool. Well, yeah, sorry guys if I overloaded you with some info there. But yeah, have a play, see how you get on. We've still got some bits and bobs that we're working on.
I've
just had 3 things coming at once then. Trevor, where can I add in the bride and groom's name as the client? A lot of my clients put in both their names. So that you would do as a custom field. Go to setup, application, custom fields. click on event or client, depending on how you want to do it. I think a lot of people do it as event. Then do it as a text field. And you can put something like groom's name. Select the client information. And what that will do is when you add a new event, there'll be custom event name details down here. So it looks like someone's already put fiance as the custom one here.
Yeah.
Can the client add the event if it's not in the system? Terence, yes, they can. That is, again, an option that you can do. So website tools, instant quote settings, and in venue address fields, you can have them show venue fields. So you can have it where you can have them manually enter a name, address, city, and also make that required as well. So hopefully that should get that done.
That's probably, Tony, that's probably going to be in your instant quote settings. There.
Can you just get extra portals without a large upgrade? No, unfortunately not at this time. You can't get additional styles without going up on the scales, I'm afraid, guys. I just tested twice for my site, and both times it's taken to request for more info pop up. Have a check with your settings. I can't think of anything.
I'm taking a
if not, post on the support forum, and I can take a look in a little bit for you. That's not a problem.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, that, yeah. Take a look at your settings, because right now you have it only set to go to the request info, request information form. So that's going to be website tools, instant quote settings, and then quote submission underneath the features section to enable that.
Now that I think about it, when you use the wizard for HTML templates, you would look under the custom field you created. Sorry, Tim, I am completely lost. I'm completely lost as to where we're at with that.
Yeah, same. If you get for the groom name custom field, but what do you mean by looking underneath the HTML? Yeah, what are you?
I think I may have lost a chat point. So, for the groom name custom field, got ya. Okay, so for that is so go to setup, application.
Oh, gotcha.
Custom fields. It's an event-based custom field. That's custom field number 1. So if you go to setup, we'll just go to documents for now. It doesn't really matter on this because it's the same one.
Yeah.
Go to merge tag wizard. Opens in a nice new window. Type in custom. And we're looking for, because there's tons of custom ones. Custom fields, there we go. And it appears there. The other thing you could type at the top, in theory, is groom's name, and it's given me the field there as well, because that's what I named the custom field. So if you type the name of the custom field, it should show up in the merge tag wizard for you guys.
Yep.
Tim, I didn't realize it put that in there either. I think that's a new thing in the last couple of weeks. So best thing to do when looking for merge tags, guys, use the wizard and just type at the top, and it normally finds what you need. I think we've covered everything.
I think so.
I think we're good, guys.
For sure. So hopefully you guys came away with something to help benefit your business today and running it through DJ Event Planner. As always, if you do have further questions, make sure to reach out to support team, either through the support forum live chat or premium, if you're a premium subscription member, of course, premium plus, I should say, using the support options found underneath support options in the left menu. Other than that, again, our next live event will be, I don't know, actually. I have to look at that. Usually we shoot for the third Tuesday of every month. However, if we happen to be at a convention, it'll be on a different date, which it looks like in June. Oh, no, we'll be good. We'll be here. So it looks like we'll be doing it June 15th. Topic to come. I will post that on the Facebook users group as well as the main group. So make sure you guys keep an eye out for that. And as always, happy planning, have fun. We're into wedding season now. Back on.
Yes, guys. Life is getting back to normal. Let's embrace this and go forward and make a ton of cash.
That's right. Awesome, guys. Well, again, thanks for joining us and thanks for participating. You guys have an awesome rest of the Tuesday, and we'll see you next month. Thanks a lot, guys.
In a bit, guys.